What's up guys, Logan here, and today I'm going to be doing a video of me changing my oil. Now I'm just doing this quick little video just to show y'all, I mean, it's not all that hard to change your oil. A lot of people think that it takes, a lot of money to change your oil and everything, but no, I mean, all you need is the right size ratchet, just some jack stands or a lift or something like that, and the oil, which is actually really cheap. Now I did used to buy all my oil over there at AutoZone, but I did notice that they are a little overpriced. I didn't even notice until I went to Walmart, but you can buy the same oil for about half the price. Today I'm using full synthetic oil that was originally $39.99 over at AutoZone, but at Walmart it was only $22.99. And I have to use 8 quarts of it, so I decided to buy 2 of them, which did save me a little bit of money rather than going to AutoZone. Now all that I really use for my oil changes is the oil, the ratchet, some ramps I can drive up onto, and an oil filter. I mean, that's really all you need to change your oil. But I hope some of y'all find this video a little helpful, save y'all a little money in the long run. I hope this is an eye-opener that it doesn't take a whole bunch of automotive knowledge just to change your oil. Now, why I like changing my own oil is because, I like taking pride in my own work, knowing that, I'm able to change my own oil, because it's not something that I have to pay, somebody 50, 60 bucks just to do. And one other reason I change my own oil is just so that I know that the job was done right, just so I don't have that little bit of doubt knowing that, somebody else changed my oil and they could have done something wrong. Now the oil that I'm using today is the Pennzoil Platinum 5W30. I haven't had any complaints with it. It's been in my car since I got the car originally, so I've just been pretty much sticking to it. Now this go around, I actually went out to Walmart. I bought these Rhino ramps for $39 or 35 bucks. Over there at AutoZone they were $59, so I saved a little bit of money there. Well, upon further investigation, well, when I tried to put these Rhino ramps under my car, my Boss 302 front lip got in the way, so it actually wasn't high enough. But my car is too low just to ride up on the ramps, so what I'm doing is putting this cardboard box here. I have a lot from GNC, so I just fold it in half and then fold it in half again, put it under there, and see if that'll work. Well, my car was too lowered for one box, so I had to do this right here. I folded another box and put it in between the box, so it just gave it that little bit more height, which, I work at GNC, so boxes really aren't an issue for me. But it's up on the ramps. Now let's change the oil. Okay, now that I'm under the car, what I like to do first is loosen a couple bolts that's holding the skid plate on. I don't take it off completely, because if you do take it off completely, it does get in your way when you're trying to change your oil, when you're draining the oil from the actual oil pan. But I do loosen the bolts. It's just 2, or in some cars 3, 8mm bolts. There's one right, let's see. There is one right there, one right here, and one right there. It's just 3 8mm bolts are holding them on. I just loosen them just so I can quickly get to the oil filter when I go to do that part, because I usually do the oil filter last. Now for the part where you're actually draining your oil, all that is holding your oil in is a 15mm bolt right there. Once you take that out, oil starts draining immediately, and which is why I have my oil catch pan right here to catch it all. Now, a good idea what to do is to let your car sit for a couple hours, let the oil actually cool down, unless you're like me, busy all the time. If you're busy, then you're going to be changing hot oil. Oh man. Now just let all your oil drain out completely and then seal it back up. One little fun fact that I learned while I'm waiting for this to stop draining is the way oil pans are designed. They're designed so that the average Joe can change the oil and actually get most of the oil out of the engine. So if you can see the position of the actual plug when it's on the when it's on any kind of stand or ramps or anything, most of the oil is going to go back, and that is why the drain plug is where it is. I know that that's probably useless information, but a little fun fact. Now that just about all of it's drained out, it's barely dripping like once every couple seconds like that. I am going to start putting the bolt back in. Now, one super important note to make when putting your bolt back in is do not over torque it. I mean, definitely get it on there snug, but don't torque it where you're over torquing it, because I've seen some people actually strip the actual drain plug bolts and they had to go buy new drain plugs. And me personally, I just like cleaning up around the area just so it's not always dirty, because oil is not going to get washed away by the rain or any puddles you hit. So I just like to clean up the area just to make it a little easier for next time. Now, coming back to the skid plate, since I already loosened all these, all I gotta do is take off this one bolt right here, and the entire skid plate will come down like so. Which, now with the skid plate down, you can actually see how it would have gotten in the way getting the oil, depending on how you'd be doing it. But one thing to pay attention to is when you're unscrewing the oil filter, the hot oil is going to start seeping out as soon as you start loosening or anything. And if that hot oil gets around your fingers or anything, it can make it where the oil filter will slip out your hands. Definitely hold on to the oil filter, because if you let it go and it hits all the hot oil, all that's going to do is just splash everywhere and make a huge mess. So definitely be careful when taking out the oil filter. Now I finally got my oil filter loosened. I'm just going to take it off and try to get it into the oil pan just about as easy as I can, without getting too much oil everywhere else. Now I'm trying to push the oil filter against the car while I'm screwing so it doesn't fall off all of a sudden. Okay, now I'm just draining it into the... Okay, I got the oil filter in my hand, just letting it drain into the oil catch pan. And here's the oil filter. And since last time I changed my oil, I did put a little bit of oil on top of the ring. The ring came off too. Now, one thing you always want to do for your new filter is put a little bit of oil around the ring there, just to make it where it's not as hard to take off the oil filter the next time you change your oil. And it doesn't have to be all a crazy amount of oil or anything. I mean, just put it right here around the lip of it. And it's good. Now right here is where you're going to be adding the oil. I already took the oil cap off, but right there is where you add all the oil. Now what I always do is I just always add the first 5 quarts without even measuring. I just add it all. Just because this car takes 8, well, I think it's like 7.5 or 7 3/4. Just because when I always put 8 in it exactly, it seems like it's always a little full. But regardless, I still just add the entire first 5 quarts without even measuring anything. Now when it comes to the second 5 quarts, you're going to want to just add as close to 2 to 2.5 as you can, and then I start to measure. Now when you're checking to see if you're good enough on oil, just pull the dipstick out right there and measure it on the little hash marks just to see if it's good or not. Now I just checked the dipstick and it said I'm good, but since I am still on ramps, that might not be entirely correct. So I'm just going to pull my car off the ramps, check it one more time, and then if it's good, then the oil change will be done. Now I am going to check the dipstick one more time just to make sure it's good. Which one thing you want to do is just clean off the dipstick one time before you actually check it, because the oil is splashing around in there. You aren't going to get an accurate reading the first time. You just want to make sure the engine's off, then fully insert the dipstick, then bring it out to read it. Which it does look like I am on, so that's good. But guys, I really hope this video was useful. I hope I let some of y'all know it's not impossible to change your own oil. It's actually somewhat easy, and if you have the right tools and everything, it actually be pretty cheap. It can be even cheaper than taking it to a mechanic like Jiffy Lube or something to change your own oil for you. And it'll also give you the peace of mind just to let you know that your oil was changed correctly. But guys, if this is your first time to my channel, please subscribe, and as always, have a great day. And as one side note, dispose of your oil properly. I know that there's some cycle centers that actually take your oil for free, so don't just pour it in your grass, throw it away or something. Definitely take it to a facility where it's properly disposed of.